Communicating your ideas isn't just drawing with a pencil. It includes digital photography, CAD, and modelling. Sketches are the beginning, combining 2D and 3D sketches with annotations to explain details. A designer starts by ruling guidelines and creating squares and rectangles, using them to draw the outline of the shape and adding more squares and rectangles or even circles and ellipses where needed. Circles are drawn in squares and ellipses in rectangles. Sketching on isometric drawing paper, showing designs at 30 degrees and in 3D, makes it easier to get the dimensions right. But remember the 3 rules of drawing in isometric. The vertical edges are drawn on vertical lines, the horizontal edges are drawn at 30-degree lines, and the parallel edges appear as parallel lines. Also, instead of using isometric paper, why not use a plain piece of paper and a 30-60 degree set square instead?
Crating is a method of drawing in 3D by drawing a box, the crate, and adding bits on and taking bits off until the right shape is created. Details are added by drawing more geometric shapes on top. Designers often leave the solid sides of the crated shape unshaded, which allows the designer to see straight through the object. This is called a wireframe drawing. Using this, details on all faces of the object can be seen. It can be done by hand or by using CAD software. 3D drawing techniques are very useful when a designer does final presentation drawings of an idea for a client or manufacturer, as they are great at showing products from a range of angles. Perspective drawing uses vanishing points to try and show how the object will actually look by using lines that appear to meet at points in the distance on the horizon line. There can be 1-point or 2-point perspectives. 1 point is for drawing objects head-on, and 2-point is for drawing at an angle.
What if you wanted to show how the object fitted together? Then you could use assembly drawing in exploded views and sectional drawings. Exploded views show separate parts of the object moved out as if it has been exploded, with dotted lines showing where it's attached. This is often used in the instruction for flat-pack furniture. Sectional drawings show how the object would look if it was cut in 2. If you draw from above, then it's called plan view. This should be drawn to scale, and the scale must be clearly shown as a ratio, for example 1:2. With a scale of 1:2, the drawing is half the product's actual size. These are mostly used in the building industry to plan out rooms, furniture, and installations.
Computer-aided design can be very useful when developing ideas, as it allows changes to be done quickly and it's easier to experiment with different colours, shapes, and help spotting problems before they happen. The software ranges from 2D drawing programs to 3D modelling packages. In 3D programs, designers can view a design from all angles, explode parts, and look inside. Designers can even animate the product to make it look as if it's being used. Now, we need to consider how to enhance the drawings. Pencil shading can make drawings look 3D to show depth, light, and shade or texture. This is also known as rendering. The use of different pencils can create different tones, with a soft pencil creating the widest range of tones. There are different ways to shade with a pencil, which is useful for showing different surfaces and parts of an object.
As well as pencil, you can use inks, paints, pastels, felt pens, and markers. For drawing lines, designers use fine liners for their variety of thickness and colours, and markers for thicker lines. For filling areas of colour, designers prefer to use inks which are good for colour infilling, background washes, and writing. Chalk pastels are great for backgrounds or for adding tone and shading, as they're easily blended using fingers or cotton wool. The last thing is gouache, an opaque paint which can be used for flat areas of colour or to highlight on renderings. There are also different ways to use colour to represent different materials. For wood, use colour and draw a grain using more than one colour to get the right shade, and remember that the side and end grains need to look different. For plastic, there are a few ways of doing it. Marker pens are good at achieving the look of plastic, or use soft coloured pencils or poster paints. If you add white lines to a surface, it can make the item look reflective. Pale coloured marker pens or pencils can be used to make an object appear transparent, and dark colours look opaque. For metals, you can draw the reflections if the metal is shiny. You need to make sure you're aware of the highlights and think about reflections. Flat sheet metal or metals with texture are represented using line techniques. For example, drawing lines to show any ridges or bumps.
Designers are increasingly using ICT and digital media in their designs. Images can be easily stored on a computer and used in presentations and reports, as well as being manipulated. For example, colours can be altered and special effects added. The images are also useful in the designing of mood boards, as designers can zoom in on different areas of the objects to show textures and finish.